What to do? Content ideas. How can I get the most clicks for the least effort? Oh, perfect! I don't know about you guys, but the only thing I'm more sick of than the woke SJW agenda making all my favorite cool, epic, manly characters into women's and woke races is the way that live-action adaptations of Junior Tolkien, J.R.R. Tolkien, are just spitting on his legacy by changing everything. It's crazy to me. Like, have some respect. The guy was a great writer, I presume. And then these lefty Hollywood types come in here and erase key details and change key characters and moments, probably for their agendas. Like opening with some entirely invented narration by a woman.
The world is changed. I feel it in the water. It began with the forging of the Great Rings. 3 were given to the elves, immortal, wisest, and fairest of all beings.
That wasn't in the book. Hello, police? I'd like to report a Mary Sue. There's about 5 women in the whole original book, or so I'm told, so ripping apart the flow of Tolkien's narrative to shove one front and center here, kinda feels like an agenda. Then the film omits the crucial Hobbit lore that opened the book, there's all that nonsense with Frodo and Gandalf, again made up, and then we get a dumb piece of slapstick that completely undercuts the epic tone. Welcome to the MCU-ification of cinema, you guys. Then these woke libcucks put Rosie in the start of film 1. She's Sam's based tradwife, who's not supposed to appear until the end of the saga. Ding ding ding, I think I hear agenda bells ringing. And in the books, when Gandalf comes back to ask about the ring, he's not the panicky wreck that Peter Cuxon gives us here. That's clearly woke Hollywood trying to undermine strong male characters. This just makes him seem like a weak beta male, just what Hollywood wants. The film takes out Gildor, adds in some dumb Harry Potter-style wizard duel which Tolkien never wrote, they have the hobbits chased, then another made-up action scene by the Black Riders. It's like modern Hollywood thinks we don't have an attention span that will glaze over if there's not constant action. How cinema has fallen. Scorsese, etc. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, this boring, homogenizing Hollywood cut out like 90% of the songs, completely changing the tone of the work to a more standard, lowest common denominator, brain-dead sludge. They cut out my goat Tom Bombadil, one of the most crucial mysteries of Tolkien's work, and they cut the thrilling Barrow White sequence, because God forbid any real substance get in the way of pacing, keeping the movie moving for the mouth-breathing millennials in the audience. And this creates a major plot hole, by the way. The hobbits are just given elven blades by Aragorn, which I guess he'd just been carrying around for no reason, instead of finding old Númenorian blades in the Barrow Downs. It's only because of this Númenorian origin that Merry's blade is able to stab the Witch King in Return of the King. Explain to me how this makes sense now? Right? You can't. This just goes to show how modern Hollywood has bad writing, and doesn't even think about the stories they create long enough to spot obvious issues like this. How cinema has fallen, Scorsese, etc. And don't even get me started on Frodo's crossing of the ford, or should I say, Frodo's cucking of the cuckford. In the books, in the real story that Tolkien wrote, not this feminist fanfic, the mighty elf Glorfindel rides to meet Frodo, and it's due to Elrond Half-Elven's enchantment that the river floods to save our halfling hero. Here it's Arwen, because I guess the movie hadn't hit us over the head with girl power enough yet. So they have her replace yet another strong male character, and have her cast some Mary Sue magic spell to raise the river, because liberal Hollywood can't let men do anything. There's so many totally fabricated Arwen scenes after this as well. It's like, hello? If Tolkien wanted more than a few glimpses of Arwen, he would have written them himself. This is pissing on Tolkien's grave. And not the cool male pissing either, where you can stand up and kind of hosepipe things. No, this is SJW feminist squat pissing. That makes me sick. This feminist revisionism only continues in the second film, with a whole bunch of made-up Mary Sue scenes by the beta screenwriters, like Éowyn sparring with Aragorn, instead of knowing her place and merely serving him wine, their only physical interaction in the books. The nerve of these writers. They go on to show Éowyn in a bunch of scenes she shouldn't be in, that Tolkien didn't want her in, and the rest of the Two Towers, or should I say the Tofu Towers, spits on Tolkien's grave just as much. Like, take a look at the sword designs for these elves. This is diversity gone mad. Why on earth would Eastern katana-style blades exist in Tolkien's non-Asian derived world? Middle-earth was based on European myth and Anglo-Saxon aesthetics. Why can't you let white people have things, Hollywood? This is a total perversion of Tolkien's world, of his wishes, just to offer another franchise up to the evil altar of woke multiculturalism. For shame, New Line Cinema, Scorsese, etc. Surprise, surprise, the third so-called film in this trilogy isn't content sticking to the script either. Saruman's killed off at Isengard, a total departure from the book. Tolkien wanted him to reappear later on for the actual end of the Lord of the Rings story, the Scouring of the Shire, a whole storyline that's ignored totally by these soy boy propaganda pieces. So much for respecting the author's wishes, I guess, guys. But nothing comes close to the film's dumbest, most fake, most liberal Hollywood moment, the Witch King's nonsense death.
No man can kill me. Die now.
I am no man.
Like, did these writers just stop trying to hide their woke agenda entirely? Okay, so I've just been told that technically that moment is in the book, but making it the big climax of this section of the film, puffing it up from just something that happens into this big SJW feminist soapbox, liberal soapbox SJW feminist moment. Have you no shame, Hollywood? This isn't what Tolkien would have wanted. He didn't write about girl power, he wrote about cool dudes doing guy stuff and being totally epic and manly. None of this beta Mary Sue nonsense. Bro, all this Tolkien disrespect's got me so riled up, and don't even get me started on The Hobbit. Wait, hang on one sec. What's that? All the people whining about adaptations destroying the Tolkien legacy aren't talking about the Lord of the Rings films, laden with changes as they were, or even the barely recognizable cinematic mess that is the Hobbit franchise, and instead they're talking about Rings of Power, a new series telling a new story inspired by sections from Tolkien's encyclopedia like Silmarillion? You're saying they're fine with all the additions, subtractions, incorporations of non-Anglo-Saxon, non-Dark Age aesthetics, and invented scenes developing further the story's female characters from back then, but that these exact issues are now deal breakers for them and taken to be reflective of some evil leftist agenda? You're saying that they're eager to accept these moments in the Lord of the Rings films because of a warm, heavy blanket of nostalgia clouding their supposedly objective perspectives? And that if these critics were at all consistent in their complaints, Peter Jackson's films would be held to be just as sacrilegious as Rings of Power? Wow, that's crazy. Hold on though, I've got to finish recording this video. Hey guys, did you hear any of that? Crazy stuff, huh? Yeah, there wasn't actually anyone there, by the way. So, obviously, that first part of this video was a piss take. The vast majority of the changes noted above, as I'm sure you're all aware, were made to improve the flow of the films, to flesh out characters important to the new emotional through lines of this filmic saga, and to streamline the relatively vast cast of characters in Tolkien's originals. With regard to the Rings of Power, though, stuff like this is even more fine. It's not a straight adaptation, and it never claimed to be. In part because the Silmarillion really isn't the sort of book you can just film. People said that The Lord of the Rings was unfilmable for decades, but that's 1,000 times more conventional from a formal point of view than the Silmarillion ever was. Telling any sort of continuous, television-suitable narrative depicting these early Second Age events was always going to require inventing story elements and characters. And sure, bits were picked out and changed a little. But yeah, as I'm sure you've come to realize over this video, Peter Jackson did that too. But if you don't like these changes, if you're really opposed to any of them just on principle, in a way that you weren't for the similar departures in Peter Jackson's films, just turn the show off. You don't have to watch it. The books haven't gone anywhere. You can just enjoy this stuff in the way that you did prior to Rings of Power coming out. A TV show inspired by a work doesn't erase erase the original. It's an optional extra, one accessible to people who maybe haven't had the time or inclination to dig through Tolkien's kind of dense legendarium. There's no shame in tapping out from a show inspired by something you like if you're not digging it. It doesn't invalidate your fanhood in any way. But the flip side of this is that if you do have a problem with this adaptation or that, and you don't watch it, you're not some true fan, a defender of the real Tolkien in a world full of shallow phonies. People who do enjoy stuff like Rings of Power, even people that make stuff like Rings of Power, they're not fake fans. They're not normies, and they're not spitting on Tolkien's legacy. They're just enjoying the author's world in a different way to you, with the addition of this indirectly connected auxiliary text. I hope my regular viewers know me well enough to realize that I'm not rolling out in defense of the Amazon machine out of, I don't know, brand loyalty or anything else so cringe. Jeff Bezos can eat my ass, and you can quote me on that. This isn't even a defense of Rings of Power. It couldn't be really, since I've not even finished the show yet. By all accounts, there are plenty of real problems with this latest Middle-earth project. All I'm asking is that we criticize those, instead of this bullshit pearl-ringing over the fee-fees of a long-dead man. Tolkien's legacy is immense. He more or less created the entire genre of modern fantasy. Frodo, Sauron, Melkor, Arda will outlive us all. I know the attention span of modern entertainment culture often feels fleeting, like new media properties are just utterly forgotten if they don't set the world on fire right away, but trust me, Tolkien's legacy was cemented well before Amazon ever started making TV shows. You don't have to worry about it being tarnished. And appealing to this imagined danger, sourcing up your content with some alarmist spiel on the idea that somehow this latest adaptation is going to bury forever those original works, if you consider yourself a critic or a reviewer, that's a pretty disingenuous move. But to be honest, I don't think I can make these points any better than Sir Ian McKellen did, way back before the Fellowship of the Ring ever hit cinemas. He said,
"The enthusiasts who have read the novels over and over may notice every change, but in doing so they will miss the point. Peter Jackson's movie does not challenge the novel's supremacy any more than the distinguished book illustrations by Howe, Lee et al. Were meant to replace Tolkien's descriptive words. Paintings, drawing, animations, and at last the feature films all augment our appreciation of Lord of the Rings. And just watch the book sales rise as New Line's publicity for the film gears up. Another point on this, the question that dominates my email, the adaptation of masterpieces from one medium to another is as old as literature. Most of Shakespeare's plays are reworkings of stories, poems, or written history. When I moved Richard III from stage to screen, I was determined to make a good film in honor of a great play. Had I left every scene and line of the text intact in the movie, it would not have been a good one. Kurosawa's Throne of Blood, my favorite version of the Macbeth saga, distorts Shakespeare to spectacular effect. The play which inspired it remains intact."
So, yeah, maybe you think you know better than me. Cool, that's fine. But do you really think you know better than Gandalf? I'd just take the L at that point. But I think that's about it for this video. I'd like to just shout out the OneRing.com's list of film changes, which was super helpful when writing this video. Even though I have, of course, both read and watched Lord of the Rings front to back, it was super handy to just have a comprehensive list to go through. Check that site out. It's got a bunch more cool stuff on it. Thanks for watching, though. And as always, I'd like to extend a special grand-sized shout out to all my Patreon supporters, especially Jonathan Francis Bond, Kevin Douglas, Ian Fifield, and Strangefolk.